Alright, hey guys. Woo! Okay. I'm a little bit more lucid this time, so hopefully I have more to talk about. I'll have more to say about this episode than I did the last one. I was a little out of it in the last one, so hopefully I can talk more about this one, which is Condemned. A lot of shit happens in this one. I just kind of not really takes a chance to think about it. This one is much more focused than some of the episodes are. Like, there's less branching storylines, and the ones that are pretty much kept to a bare minimum. The focus is largely on right after the aftermath of the last episode when everything's blowing up to shit. So, God, I'm still sick, so if I have a coughing fit here and there, that's why. I apologize in advance. But, yeah, this is another case of just another pretty solid episode. I really liked, this is one that I noticed. I noticed this in this episode, and I actually confirmed it by looking back at the second episode, is the fact that Daredevil is slowly adding... Oh, there's a cup in the way in the frame. Daredevil is slowly adding padding to his costume. Like, it's a very nice attention to detail. I don't draw attention to it, which I thought actually was pretty cool. Like, he has, like, fancier fighting gloves, and he has, like, elbow pads and shit, and I looked back in the episode, he did not have those before, so I thought that was actually a really nice little touch. As to how he's learning, how he's developing what will eventually become the Daredevil costume we all know and love. But yeah, there's a lot to like about this episode. This one really emphasizes the kind of relationship that Daredevil has with Vladimir, as Vladimir is on death's door, and Daredevil has to basically keep him alive just to get him information, but at the same time, there's also the question of whether he can't stand to watch him die either, being the true superhero way. So there's a good question of just how dark Daredevil is willing to go and what line he's not willing to cross, and that's nicely explored here. It's a good direction of that character, because up to this point, it's very much like what Daredevil is willing to do and to get justice and like that. This is one that kind of explores what he's not willing to do. So I liked seeing that. You know, aside from just straight up murder, he's not willing to do that. We all kind of know that, but this one's kind of showing like what lines he's not willing to cross in comparison to what he is. Otherwise, a lot of cool stuff in this episode. Like I said, the Vladimir in this episode is very cool. I really like this. This is a very tense episode. Also has a lot of Ben Urich doing a lot more of what I want Ben Urich to do, which is like dig into the mystery of what's going on in Hell's Kitchen, not so much a United Alliance thing. I still don't care about the storyline. I mean, I like the character of Karen. I like Karen and Foggy. I like their relationship. I like their chemistry. I think they have a good chemistry together. They work well off each other. I still don't care for that particular storyline, but and it's another case of I'm waiting to see if that has a genuine payoff. Fisk is still great. I really like where they're going with him. This also happens to be the first, honestly kind of Die Hard-esque dialogue between Daredevil and Fisk as they communicate over a walkie-talkie, and it's a great fucking scene. It's another case of I can't wait to see where they're going with that. This is, of course, I've seen the first time, and many times they'll be talking. I can't wait to see where that's going. I really like their dynamic so far. You know, you got the whole yin-yang thing of we want the same thing, we have different ideas of how to accomplish it, and yada, yada, yada. Like, it's kind of cheesy stuff, and it's kind of classical villain-hero talk, but it's still very well portrayed and very well told, and it's also very well written, so it still works in the context of this world. Vladimir takes a lot of hits. Again, it just comes back to... sorry, my voice sounds raspy again. I'm getting over a cold. But this one has Vladimir is shot. I'm sure like several bones are broken, and he is just beaten to shit. So Daredevil has to keep him alive, so he cauterizes his wound with a flare, which again I thought that was great. Just shit like that. It's fucking awesome. I love it. Even though it's also the first time I think we see Daredevil fight with one of his batons, or not one of his he just has one from a police officer that comes in to investigate the loud screams of the man who is getting his wounds cauterized by flare. But he's one of the few innocent cops who doesn't kill him, but he takes his baton and he uses that in combat, like chucks at somebody and hits him in the face. It's a fucking great scene. again, though, this does a good job of making you understand why Vladimir, at the end of the episode, would want to help Daredevil, even though, of course, like they're kind of like sworn enemies, like the enemy of my enemy thing. They play well off each other. Their dynamic is convincing. Their storyline is convincing. And I kind of liked his little mantra of "This is not how I die" and shit like that. So that's why, like, his sacrifice, spoiler alert, at the end of the episode makes perfect sense. And it's very well done. One little nitpick I will say about this episode is the fact that. One, Kingpin's girlfriend is surprisingly just completely gone in this episode, even though she was, like, walking hand in hand with Fisk at the end of the last episode. But that's a minor thing. I'm going to let that go. This is the problem where, like, the lighting does kind of start to become an issue in terms of the fight scenes, because a lot of, like, scenes at the very end when they're in the access tunnel is very dark and very hard to see. So that's kind of like, it's hard to tell what's going on sometimes. Usually it's not a problem. They've managed to balance the line pretty well, but this is the one case was like, okay, you're kind of pushing it there. But, yeah, otherwise, very solid episode. I like what they did with Ben Urich. I like that we finally got to see Daredevil and Kingpin start talking to each other. There was a scene when Ben Urich's looking at, like, has this big giant conspiracy board. It has all the rival, the gang members on, like, playing cards and shit like that. And the lead one is just a king, like a card of a king with a pin on it. I was like, okay, that's a little on the nose, but I'll go with it. I was gonna nitpick initially why he's using playing cards to begin with, then I kind of thought about it. It's like, oh wait, if you kind of like want to rank like who's the main general, like who are the other people. Okay, I can go with that. That makes sense. If they went more with like this, the Ben Urich, I'd probably like him better. Cause I like the actor who's playing him, I like the character. I just don't like what they've done with him so far. Because again, I could not give two shits about the United Alliance storyline. As far as I'm concerned, that one could be gone and to be fine. Again, maybe they'll tie in the grander scheme of things, because that whole thing's that's like owned by Kingpin, so maybe they'll tie back into it in a unique, interesting way. I don't know, we'll find out. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in here. I guess Daredevil is like in public now, and he's seen as the bad guy. Kind of been done before, but again, I'm willing to go with it. We'll see where they're going with that. Next one's called Stick. So I could take an educated guess if they bring to that one, so I'd rather just get to the next episode. So yeah, recommend this episode. So far, pretty good streak. There's only one episode I haven't really liked so far, so we'll see if it keeps going on that hot streak. We're almost halfway through the season, so far, pretty damn solid. Yeah, see you all next episode. Bye.